What's most important to me is that you need to get the hang of using TVM Solver. That's the most important part. So can I remind you how you access TVM Solver? There's a link on Daymap. You've got a couple of steps to do that. So it goes to this website. You press Test Nav, and then you have to let it load a little bit. I think you need to let it load twice. You press Start twice, and then you select the middle calculator. And I've been telling you that why am I teaching it in this more complicated way? Because I teach Year 11 and Year 12 General Maths, and I know where this is leading. And I'm actually going to prove that to you, because by the end of today, we're going to answer a question from the Year 12 General Maths test from 2023. So that, although I think I've established that you should believe me enough by this point, I just want to continue proving it to you, okay? So all the notes that you have to get down today is this. You can also start an annuity with a large amount of money. Where could you possibly get large amounts of money from? Maybe grandparents will, maybe like as an adult you could sell a car if you're struggling, and then you could put that as a giant chunk of money at the start of an annuity, and you can put regular payments. What you were supposed to do in yesterday's lesson, Mr. Debster I think played the video out, we were pretending it's more realistic for kids, where you start off with nothing and you put little pays bit by bit into it. So what we're doing today is you're starting off with a large amount of money, and you're also making regular payments to grow it. So what does this mean? PV is going to be negative, PMT is also going to be negative, FV is going to be positive because the bank is giving you the money at the end. Also, please remember, this is the formula for interest on an investment. So we are going to do this example here with Kanye. He invested $5,000 into a savings account. So that's his big chunk. And then he followed it up with regular deposits of $250 each month. And that account is paying 8% interest. So that 8% is a little high for, if we're being real. We saw Bank SA was offering like 5.35. But the way you do maths doesn't change. Just the numbers are slightly unrealistic. But also the fact that it's Kanye West is unrealistic as well. And we're going to find A, the balance of the account after 10 years, and B, find the interest that he earned. Can you get that example down, please? For the purposes of the video going onto YouTube, you could skip over to the examples. So a reminder as well, you will have access to this TVM Solver graphics calculator during your tests. I'll patrol around, making sure that that's the only thing open. Alright, can someone remind me how to access TVM Solver in this graphics calculator? Because I'm a 40-year-old Asian man, my memory is failing me. What do I press? Good. Finance. And then what? Good. It starts off by default. Everything zeros except the bottom two. Let's put it over there. How do I show working out if I'm using TVM Solver? Did I tell you just write the answer and hope for the best? What's the best way of showing working out when your calculator is doing the job for you? Write down what you put in. All right? So you get the hang of writing N, I, PV, PMT, FV. Because you're in high school in South Australia, I've already told you that for some reason SACE decided PY and CY are always going to be the same. So what my Year 12s often adopt is writing PY and CY on the one line. So that's your working out. You have the variables ready to go, and you're just working out what you're chucking in the calculator, yeah? Kanye made an initial investment of $5,000. Which of these variables here is the initial amount? N? I? PV. Good. He's putting the money in the bank. So what sign is it going to be? Negative 5,000. Well done. Is he putting money in regularly as well? What? How much? Good. What sign would that be if it's going from his pocket? Good. So he's also putting 250 in regularly. I'm trying to find what the balance grows to. So I'm going to put stars next to FV. If I look at this question, what is the regularity? What units of time are we operating with? Months. So I need to work out what P1, what happens, how many times does a month happen in a year? Good. So PY and CY are going to be 12 for this situation. I've been told what I is 8%. So the only working out I need to do is how many periods overall. That's 12 periods a year. For 10 years, how many periods is that going to be? 120. If you can't work that out in your head, you can do the maths on the calculator. You can go 12 times 10 in the actual entry. See how it worked it out for me? 8, enter. Negative is the little bracketed one, not the take sign. Negative $5,000. He's also putting in $250 into the bank. And so I haven't changed PY and CY yet to 12. And notice that it enters it automatically both. Changes them. Can someone remind me, because I'm a 40-year-old man, how do I get the calculator to solve? What do I press? Alpha. Well done. Alpha. Enter. So that is telling you that at the end of this situation, Kanye is going to have $56,834.71 to 2 decimal points in the account after 10 years, which looks massive. It looks like a lot. It's not that good though, because we're not working out the interest. We're just working out what he put in the bank. That's not that massive when you figure, did he start off with putting $5,000 of his own money in the first place? Yeah. He also put in 120 freaking payments of $250. That adds up over time. So you have this formula here, which is how you find interest on an investment. So interest is equal to, what is the FV? $56,834.71 is what it grew to. Take away PV. Did he start off with something in there? $5,000. Notice that I'm not making it negative. The negatives is just for the calculator to understand. You can't have negative money. All right? Plus, you can be in debt, but not for the purpose of this, right? PMT, what's he PMTing? $250. How many times is he doing the $250? 120 times over the course of the loan. No, not the loan, the investment. So if I want to get out of TVM and go back to the calculator, press second mode for quit. This is just the calculator setting. And you have an advanced calculator available here where you can use brackets and everything. So I'm just going to go 56,834.71 take away in brackets 5,000. You can trust this calculator to know how to do bed maths, unlike the Apple one, which it's a bit sketchy. So that tells you that the bank in that time paid him $21,834.71 in interest just for doing his thing. That's a nice growth, but it did take 10 years, okay? Can you get that example down, please? So this is the biggest portion of this lesson. I'll stop the recording.